Hey friend, Brandon here! After my previous videos, which you can check out in the playlist up here or in the description, I said that the Google Pixel 4 annihilated the Note 10 Plus before it even came out, and that Google was the most innovative and revolutionary company of 2019, and the Google Pixel 4 proves it. And surprise, the Note fans came out in full force to tell me that I'm wrong. So I picked up the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus to see what the big deal is about the Note 10 Plus, and to find out the ins and outs of it, and of course, to see if I was wrong. Let me know what I should check out and what the best parts are of the Note 10 Plus in the comments. So let's check out the hottest device from Samsung right now and give you my impressions and thoughts on it. Oh, and I have a gift for those who watch the whole video. Let's talk about all of it because this is Tech Today. All right, let's unbox it. So, in those previous videos, I stated that Google had annihilated the Note 10 before it was even announced. And of course, so many people pointed out that that wasn't possible because they thought I was talking about specs, but I was not. But let's take this out. Got some notes here. You have a charger in here. So the interesting thing about this is that Samsung's kind of pulling an Apple. This is not the full power charger. The full power one is a 45 watt charger. Now, of course, this is not as slow as what Apple puts in their box, that's for sure. But it's interesting that Samsung is putting a lower powered one in here, and then you have to buy a more expensive one to get the full charging capacity. So that's the first thing that's a little iffy about this version of the Note. And then the AKG earbuds. What's interesting about this one is that it has a USB-C connector, so not a headphone jack. Not even an adapter in here, is there? Is there an adapter? What is this? Oh, these are the Note Pen tips. So you have extra Note Pen tips. This is just so weird. I wasn't used to that. So sadly, I'm not finding a headphone jack adapter in here anywhere. Nothing in here. So one downside, not a full charger. Second downside, you don't have a headphone jack. Seems very Apple-ish to me for Samsung to do this because now you have to buy their Galaxy Buds. Now that's more mature of a product and it's selling fairly well. I think they're great. But it just seems like Samsung's doing whatever they can to just kind of nickel and dime you right now, doesn't it? One thing that I will give them credit for is the AKG earbuds that come with the Galaxy S10 and the Note 10. I know that they sound good. I'm sure these are amazing, just like the S10. They have the best earbuds that come with a phone than anyone else. I just wish I had a headphone jack. So here is the Note 10. Let's peel this baby off. A little ASMR stuff for you. That was a pretty good one. That was a pretty good one. You like that. Admit it, you like that. Thumbs up. Bro, this is clean. This is gorgeous. So it's not as, I don't know, outrageous as some of the pictures make it out to be because it's just a little bit of a shimmer. Hear me out. It's like an oil spill, but like less ugly looking. It just has all those colors. That's a compliment in this case. But yeah, it actually looks really great. And then there's a screen protector on the front of it, but we'll leave that on for now. So this thing is pretty hefty feeling. It feels nice in the hands next to something like the Pixel 3 XL, which I have in a D-brand case here. In terms of size, it's about the same width as the Pixel 3 XL and just a little bit taller. So that's interesting. That's because of the bezels that they shrunk. But the downside, especially if you watch my last video about speakers, you don't have front-facing speakers. So there are pros and cons there. Let's compare it to the OnePlus 7 Pro. And wow, yeah, the OnePlus 7 Pro is definitely thicker, but they're about the same size. The OnePlus 7 Pro is not as wide though. So if size is a concern for you and the OnePlus 7 Pro is already too big, then the Note 10 Pro is even bigger. And then we have the Galaxy S10 Plus. Oh yeah, that's a big difference. It's interesting, the Galaxy S10 Plus has a more refined look to it in my opinion because everything's so curved. It has really soft edges everywhere. And here's the Pixel 3a. there's definitely a bit of a difference there. I have to admit, I really like this color. So we have 3 cameras on here. There's a wide, telephoto, and a normal. And then there's some extra sensors on here that will help with augmented reality. So I really want to check that out. This is the only version that has a micro SD card slot, which is really disappointing that they got rid of that in the normal Note. But here's the thing that I'm noticing about the Note series and even the upcoming iPhones, if Apple does the same thing that Samsung just did. Essentially, the Note 10 is like the iPhone XR of Note. It's actually a lower quality, it's lower spec than even the Note 9, and then the Note 10 Plus is the actual Note. So this one has the highest specs, it doesn't compromise, it's actually an improvement from the previous year. But here is the thing, it is $100 more than last year. They just kind of confused you by adding the normal Note, the Note XR, so to speak, as the baseline, when in reality, they just raised the price $100 for the actual Note. So I'm not a fan of that. If Apple follows the same pattern, then the iPhone 11 is really the iPhone XR version of the iPhone 11. And then the iPhone Pro is the actual iPhone. So it's all marketing, it's all changing the names of everything. The baseline is the cheaper one, the lower spec one, and then the Pro one or the Plus one or whatever you want to call it is the actual one, but it costs more. So our prices are creeping up even more. And Samsung is just as guilty of it as Apple. So don't blame Apple for everything. So this thing is definitely a fingerprint magnet. It's just not nearly as pretty as what it was before. So to deal with all those fingerprints, I put a green camo skin on from the channel sponsor dbrand, and it looks pretty good, especially if you don't like the color options that are available. Of course, there's links down below in the description for that and the phone. One thing that I have noticed is that all of the buttons are on the left side. So there's no buttons on the right. And I actually like that a lot because that's kind of how the Google Pixel is set up. On the Galaxy S10 and 10 Plus, you had a button on the right and then this Bixby button over here on the left, which is really frustrating. And I always accidentally took screenshots because the power button's on the right and then the volume rocker's on the left. iPhone users complain about that all the time. So we've booted it up, and the one thing that Samsung is always great at is their display. So this past week, I just got really frustrated with my Google Pixel 3 XL because I was out in the sun and it was just really hard to read the screen. I know for a fact I'm not gonna have that problem with the Note 10. All right, let's get a little picture here. Yeah, it looks okay. It kind of does that weird softening thing on your skin. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Is there like a beauty mode? We have the normal angle for the camera. We have a telephoto version of the camera, and then an ultra wide for the camera, which is really sweet. I love that. We even have this live focus video. So how does it sound? How does it look? It's kind of interesting. It seems a little fuzzy. This one's interesting because it'll cut out all the color around me, except for me. And then this thing, which is like this retro glitch effect. I actually really like this. This is kind of cool. There is a slider for the glitch effects, and this one's all the way up. It's not good. Moderation is important, so, you know, just don't go overboard. And of course, we have to check out this S Pen, which I think is the Harry Potter tool. And it actually has a clicking mechanism, so that's kind of nice. This is for those fidgeters out there. Do you remember the fidget cube? And there's even a little button there. And of course, you can take notes with it. Subscribe. It's interesting, it has little sound effects for when you write. Wow, my handwriting sucks. So you have this AR doodle thing here. Maybe I can actually have some facial hair. So AR doodle, this is a thing. All right, since we've been talking about audio so much on the channel recently, let's check out the speakers. So it sounds pretty clear. It's really, really loud. There is a stereo spread there, but here's an interesting thing. I don't know if you can tell the sound difference. I'm gonna cover up the bottom speaker and then the top speaker. So yeah, the top speaker is really quiet in comparison to the bottom speaker, and it's much thinner sounding. So if you want to know about all the science of all that, check out my video about smartphone speakers in the card up here or the link in the description. So something that's really interesting since I've been using this phone is it's gotten really, really hot. So let me grab something real quick. Zap. It's wow, it's reading at 108 degrees. So hopefully that doesn't create any problems. It's up here in the top part of the phone, but it's still noticeable because you put your finger right there. At least I do. So before I end the video, I want to give you $5 for watching until the end. Yes, I'm serious, and I'm doing it in partnership with this video sponsor, Privacy.com, and their free service that helps protect you against credit card fraud. As someone who has worked in the credit card fraud prevention division at the #1 bank in America, buying things online puts your credit card number and personal information at risk, especially with all those data breaches that have become so common now. Privacy.com protects you against fraud in so many ways. You have the ability to create a new virtual burner card for each purchase, which is great for those one-time purchases. You can create a virtual card to make sure those subscription trials stay a trial because you can set a limit on how much they can charge a virtual card. You can even create a dedicated card for your recurring subscriptions and turn any one of your generated cards on and off whenever you want. The best part is that it's absolutely free. They make money from the people you buy things from, not you. And no, they won't sell your data. Protect your identity and your credit card information. Sign up now at privacy.com/thisistechtoday and get $5 if you sign up through that link. Seriously, it is a no-brainer. Sign up now. So far, my first impressions are that this is a really solid phone. It's really good, but it's not too much different than the Galaxy S10 Plus minus the S Pen. So this is what we need to look into the most. There are definitely benefits to having an S Pen, like signing contracts, wanting to annotate an image or something like that. So let me know what you think are the best things about the S Pen, and we'll probably have a video about all the different tips and tricks for it. But the question is it worth it to upgrade to something like this for hundreds of dollars more for a lack of certain options like a headphone jack? For me, the S Pen can be really convenient, but you're paying hundreds of dollars more for this, and it feels kind of like cheap plastic, to be honest. So here's the big moment. A lot of you said that I am a Pixel fanboy, that I'm paid off by Google, which is not true. And he said that I didn't have any idea what I was talking about and that the Note 10 destroys the Pixel 4. Well, maybe the Pixel 4 is just doing something more innovative or risk-taking than Samsung. I mean, it's pretty easy to just add more RAM and a bigger battery, right? I want to find something that kind of blows my mind a little bit more. So maybe I'm just misunderstanding the benefit of a Note. So we're gonna take out the SIM card and put it into the Note 10, which I will admit, it's nice to have a micro SD card slot on. And there you go, it's in the Note 10 Plus. So let me know what you want me to check out in the comments or in the This Is Tech Today community Discord chat server. There's a link in the description for that. So I think I'll come back with some videos on tips and tricks that I find for the Note 10 and then some accessories that I think you should check out. So thank you so much for watching This Is Tech Today, where we talk about the intersection of technology in our everyday lives, in business, and in all things creative. Until next time.